guys, well, today's story is a little bit of a different tone than the other stories we've been doing. I thought I'd tell you the stories that affect me in ways other than just damaging my brain, although those are some of the most entertaining, and I'll be telling you plenty more stories about me being concussed and getting into various fights and getting the shit kicked out of me, so on and so forth. But I have this thing that it's just something that means something to me personally. If I'm out at a restaurant somewhere and there's a military member in uniform eating, I will pay for their meal. Period. That's just something I want to do, and that's something I can't express the amount of admiration I have for people in the military. Now, for me, you take all politics out of that. You know, it has nothing to do with what conflicts we've been involved in, what ones we shouldn't have been involved in, should have been involved in, whatever. All I know is that individual is the reason that my kids and my grandkids get to go to sleep every night and expect not to have some really bad things happen to them, because these people are willing to lay down their lives on their behalf, and that's just the way I feel about it. So basically, if I go into a restaurant and I got enough money for one meal, before I order, if I see a military person in there, I'll pay for their meal, and then I'll figure out how to feed myself later. It's nothing that I look for congratulations for or anything like that. It's just something that I feel like I need to do, and so I do it. So anyway, my wife, Spaz kid Braxton, and I were coming back from visiting my mom down in North Carolina. We're in either Pennsylvania or Virginia, I've forgotten which, and we stopped at a Cracker Barrel. It's like my wife's favorite place. And so we're eating, and I saw GI, a military man. I don't know the ranks. I know he had a lot of decoration and everything, and he was not as old as me, which is really freaking old, but he was an older gentleman, so I assume he'd been in for a while. So anyway, I grabbed the waitress, and I don't like to make anybody feel uncomfortable or anything, so I tried to do it discreetly. So I just told her, I said, please, put that man's meal on my tab, and don't tell him who did it. Just tell him it's been taken care of. And she said, okay, and so she did it, and we went about eating our meal, and I saw the gentleman, he was there before us anyway, he finished his meal, and he went out, and a short time later, the server came back to us, and she brought me this. And it was the American flag patch off his uniform. I didn't know that these were detachable, that they were Velcro, but he had given it to her and asked her to give it to whoever had paid for his meal for him. But when she gave it to me, she started to cry, because she said her son is in the military, and she said she just hopes that people are taking care of him, the same way we're trying to take care of this gentleman, and she hoped that people realize the sacrifice they made, and so on and so forth. But I just wanted to share that with you because it's something it's one of my favorite things that I have. I know it was just a simple, stupid little thing. It was a meal at Cracker Barrel, big deal, but to me it meant a lot. And again, with the amount of respect I have for people in the military and stuff, this is one of the coolest, most favorite things I have. And I just thought I'd share that story with you. And like I say, in the future, I'll tell a lot more concussion, blood-letting stories, but this is one that just made me feel good.